If you're comfortable, you're probably not going to achieve anything.
Have you ever felt transforming your body after 40 is tough?
Every time I step out of my comfort zone and do something different, that's when I see success.
I'm Matt Bellman, and this is Million Dollar Creators, where you can learn how to become a $1 million creator yourself.
So I was making $10,000 when I came to Passion, and I made more than that.
Meet Melissa Neill, who solved her own problem and since then educates and empowers women over 40 to get their dream bodies.
Follow the process.
So today Melissa runs a 7-figure business and is a leading authority in her niche.
Last month we did $75,000.
Welcome Melissa Neill to the show. Just like any woman her age, Melissa found getting in shape in her 40s is really challenging, and that's why she decided to help other women like her. She started her YouTube channel in the summer of 2019. Her goal was to educate women over 40 to achieve their dream body. In June 2020, she brought out her first online fitness and weight loss program for women over 40. She has today 21,000 app users, and 8,000 women have bought her programs. And she's today a leading authority in her niche. Melissa, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Matt.
Yes. So let's start off with what's your mission on this planet and what inflection point made you start your business?
So my mission is to help women over 40 transform their bodies and lose weight. And it's just a passion of mine. I absolutely love helping people. And so I had a job in public relations, which I really hated. So back in 2019, I sort of thought, well, what I want to do is help other people out, because I kind of discovered a way that was going to be quite successful, a formula that could work for everybody my age, because we really struggle, especially around the time of menopause. So that's my mission.
Nice. And was there a particular inflection point where you couldn't do anything else but just like do this now finally?
Yeah, I mean, I think quite early on, I learned that I wasn't going to make a financial success by just my YouTube channel. So although at the moment I've got probably about 250,000 subscribers, which is not to be sniffed at, you can sort of make a living out of it. But in order to really kind of scale and grow your business and reach lots of women and help them at the same time, it was really important to actually bring out my first program. And I quickly kind of understood, come 2020, if I brought out my own program, that was how I was going to like reach a much bigger audience, but also kind of make it into a proper business, if you like.
Nice. Let's, before we dive into that in a second. So you said just want to understand what you did in your previous life. You said something in PR. So like, what did you do before all of that?
So I was working in public relations in what I would call selling widgets, which didn't give me any joy at all, because basically I was promoting products and services that I weren't really passionate about. And I tended to stay in similar sorts of industries. So I was in the healthcare sector for quite a bit. And I was kind of in also local authorities, public sector. And so what ends up happening is you're promoting the same things year after year, and it's sort of, you lose your joy. And I just lost my joy of it and thought, I just want to be doing something different instead. And I was doing all this in 2019 and 2020 as a side hustle. So, I only really got myself into the position in 2021 of leaving my job, which was just amazing. And I actually stayed in my job for too long. So this is a kind of learning point for anyone watching this. I kind of got begged to stay in my job. And I think I was hanging on for one day a week, and I actually lost money by doing that, because if I spent one day a week working on my business, the potential is much greater. So if you've got an app, if you've got programs, your potential is much, much greater because you can really scale it. So getting paid to do a job or working with clients. Some people do that, don't they? They're kind of working with clients. There's not so much potential because, as you mentioned at the start, I've sold 8,000 programs. So it's like that day a week that I was spending still staying in employment, I could have worked on my business and done much better. So, as soon as you have an opportunity to leave work and you believe you're making enough of a living, it's really important to quit your job.
Yeah. Super good. What's the offer that you're selling today, the core offer, and what value do customers get?
So my offer is sort of transformation products for women over 40 and around the time of menopause. And what happens is they go into the app. There are workouts, there are meal plans, there's nutrition guides, and then they also, depending on what kind of product they buy, they also may sign up for weekly calls with me. So I've got membership programs. I also do coaching as well, high ticket coaching. But my programs start off like the cheapest product is someone can buy it for around about $50 if they get it on offer. So it starts at a very low price point. And then there are products right up until the most expensive thing is around about $10,000. So
Nice.
yeah, so
$50 is one time or is recurring, and the 10,000 is also one time or recurring, like for what?
that's a one time, but yeah, that would be sort of VIP coaching with me, and the sort of $50, or they can get it for $50 because we kind of do email sequences where people can sort of get offered a discount when they're new into my database. But it's not really displayed on the website at that price. But basically, if they sign up for that, that's a one-off product. So it's quite a low commitment for somebody to start to get them kind of, I suppose, get them on board with something that I produce. And then what we do is through a lot of it, email marketing we try to get them on a ladder to progress them up to something that's more higher ticket. We also have free stuff. So I have free programs. I've got a free 7-day program in your app. And that is really popular. And that's a really good way. This is something you told me to do, actually. Not you personally, but Passion in the learning offer a free 7-day program. And that is just amazing because I've got a 70,000 email list. And so a lot of people, as you pointed out, there's 21,000 people that have signed up for the app. A lot of them will be on that free program. And then what that does is you can then, we've got email sequences that go out that try to push them into other products.
Yep.
So that's kind of how it works, really. But I took all my learning, most of my learning from you guys, about how to approach selling programs and products in your app. And it's just basically, it's about getting them into your world, taking them off the platform, which for me, it's mainly YouTube, taking them off the platform where you're winning the business and getting them into your ecosystem. I use ActiveCampaign as an email marketing tool. And, we also have then really great intelligence about our customers, which can help drive our marketing in the future.
Nice. Really good. Just one more question before we move on. The 10K offer, is that for a 1-year support, for 6 months?
Yeah, so that's 6 months coaching with me.
Okay, nice. Do people proceed or continue after that with another 6 months, or they usually end?
Sometimes they do. Yeah, it just depends. Some people sign up and then they're like, okay to go it alone. Other people need more support, so they'll continue with one-to-one coaching. Or I've got people that then go on to the group coaching model, which is around about $5,000 for 6 months.
It's a great segue to talk about customer success. Give me 1 second. I want to take a note here. Coaching. Perfect. How many people do you have in these different steps of the value ladder today?
Well, it's quite small. So I have about, so with the coaching, if I sort of take it from the highest price point, I kind of have space for 10 people with the very high ticket coaching. So that's the $10,000 product. The group coaching, I've got about 30 people going on that at the moment, but we're growing that. And I actually work with an external sales company now, which I've only just brought them on board because I was doing that all myself. Believe it or not, doing all the sales personally myself, which is quite challenging. So I'm now working in partnership with a sales company. So that is an area we're really planning for big growth in 2024 to sort of grow that. So we've got more like 100 clients running rather than 30 clients on the group coaching model, because that's much more scalable than one-to-one coaching. And then with the other programs, I've got about 200 members. So I've got a $69 a month program. So that's really good because it's recurring revenue, and we're trying to grow that one as well. So we're doing a lot of work on customer retention, and also kind of making it, we're offering a lot of deals to join. We got like a $1 offer where people can have 14-day trial on that $69 a month program, which is very different from the free 7-day programs. The free 7-day program is just a standalone program that people can sign up to, and they never get charged. Whereas with this other product, they can have a 14-day trial, and then it will kick into charging them a monthly subscription, which is $69 a month. So that's really great for anyone with this kind of business model, because you can really scale that. That was actually the original reason I signed up with Passion, to be able to have like a membership program, because I had other products, and then I've just got other one-off products, which would account for the other, I don't know what it is, the other 7,000 programs that I sell, basically. So my business has very much been based, and those, the sort of price range is anything up to from sort of $50 to $147. That's US dollars. I charge in US dollars, even though I'm UK based. It's really important to me because my customer base is like 80% USA. And so, the lower ticket offers has always been my bread and butter. And now what we're trying to do is move towards selling more of the higher ticket offers, because that's how I can really grow and scale my business. But having said that, I've got a very exciting thing happening in January, which is I'm launching a sort of new $97 program, which is a prize fund at the end of it. So the top prize is $10,000, and the second prize is $5,000. And so that's like really exciting, because I feel that we can really generate a lot of excitement and a lot of signups to quite a low ticket offer, which is like round about just under $100. But then there are some options for some customers that want to upgrade to like more like a $500 product or $1,000 product within that. So we're just launching that. We're working on it now. So when you asked me about Christmas, I was thinking, wow, that's not happening until like Christmas Eve, because we're working on getting this product up and running for the 4th of January at the moment, which is like really exciting. I think it's going to be massive, because I'm the only person that's doing this for women over 40. There are other influencers that offer these kind of programs where there's a cash prize, but there's nobody in my niche for women over 40 that's doing it. And so they've got a much better chance, because when you're going up against younger women, so I know that because I do bikini competitions, for example, and I might be going up against younger women, and it's not very fair, because it's hard for us to lose body fat, and it's hard for us to put on muscle. So for them, if they're competing against women in their age category, it's going to be much better. So I believe we've already done some sort of teasers about this. We're going to generate a lot of excitement and a lot of sign-ups and income. More importantly, income.
Yeah, very good. Like, if I sum all of this stuff up, like 10 one-to-one slots, 30 group coaching, you want to scale this up further, 200 members, 69. You are somewhere in the 60K a month. If I like normalize it,
Yeah.
shy of 60 times 12 would be 720K. So just like below $1 million, somewhere there on an annual run rate.
Yeah, I mean, last year we did 350,000. And so really with this coaching, it's only just started to kick in. So last month we did $75,000 in
Nice.
revenue. Yeah. And so that's what we're looking to achieve month on month now.
83,000, like you're very shy of like the 83,000 times 12 is the 1 million mark. So the moment when you nail 83,000 or more on $1 million run rate.
Yeah, so I probably need to get your advice, Matt, on that. But we think we will reach it because it was really our first campaign around the group coaching model. A lot of that was on selling this group coaching model. And so we think, my goal is to get 100,000 per month, $100,000 per month. It's been my goal for the last 2 years. And it's just gradually sort of chipping away. It's not an overnight success. It's not a get rich quick scheme, is it? Especially when you want to be an ethical business, you need to make sure you've got the infrastructure in place to provide, when you're offering people $5,000-$10,000 products, you've got to have the infrastructure in place to be able to provide something really high quality, especially when you're talking about those sort of numbers. So you have to be very careful. But that's the goal, is to get $100,000 a month.
It's a nice
business.
number. I love that number. Let's talk about lead gen, customer acquisition. How do you get customers today? Like, what are the marketing channels? You said earlier 80% US. YouTube is the biggest channel. You have 250K on YouTube.
Yeah.
The email list. Like, how does from awareness, how do people get in touch with you? What are the channels? How does it really work, this system?
Yeah, you're trying not to say funnel, aren't you? Because when you say funnel, people go, what? So today, until quite recently, everything was organic, meaning I didn't pay for any advertising. So I'm quite lucky, or some would say you make your own luck, don't you? But I'm quite lucky that I have a really engaged audience, particularly on my YouTube channel. So I think, because I've got 250,000 subscribers, but I would say once you reach the kind of 50,000 mark, which was a couple of years ago, you can really start to sort of sell products on a large scale if you've got that. And I think particularly with YouTube, because I am on other channels, I'm on Instagram, I've got, I think it's 70,000 followers there. And I'm also on TikTok, where I've got over 100,000 followers. But what I found with YouTube, there's always going to be one channel that works really well for you and your personality and what you're all about. And YouTube does. And I can build up an enormous amount of trust on YouTube because I have 10-minute videos is my typical. I still do shorts. So that's my main funnel. So what happens is, not on every video, but some videos have call to actions. So that's like, download my free 7-day program, download. I also have a free nutrition guide that, in actual fact, I took the template from you guys for that. So it was a template you created on Google Slides of a nutrition guide. And I took that and made it my own with your template. And that's also really, really popular. So it's getting people into your free stuff. And yes, I still have call to actions about my paid for stuff as well. And so that's mainly, then they get to my website and all my products and services are featured basically on my website. So I get a lot of people that come to my website cold and they just buy something. So I'm very lucky in that respect with before I even started my email campaigns properly. But now we have a huge database. So we've got 70,000 people, mainly they're going to be women, and we communicate to them via email, and they go into email sequences. So if they sign up for one of those free products, they go into email sequences. And that's really how I do it, be it YouTube, which is my most important platform. Then I've got Instagram, then I've got TikTok. So the goal is to drive people to the website. Now, more recently, but I'm not getting a return on my investment at the moment, which is slightly scary, is I have been starting to do paid ads on YouTube, and we're going to do paid ads on Facebook as well. We've just hired somebody, because really, Matt, and you know this, that you there's only so much you can do with organic, and if you want to scale and get big, you've got to do paid ads. And I did a lot of the teaching with you guys on paid ads, and you've got a great guy there, Elliot. He's absolutely brilliant. But I was just too scared to do it myself and quite time poor. So we just decided in the end we're going to invest and we're going to hire people in to the experts that will do this. And you know, it's a bit technical for me, to be honest. I'm a bit of an old bird now. I'm 56. Learning new technology is not my forte, to be honest. And I find advertising is a little bit of a dark art. So I prefer to hire people in to do that for me. And now that we've done that, I'm really glad that we did.
How big is the team right now? Like, only saw contractors? Is it like you and the core, or like how big is the team?
So I've got a team of 5 people that work for me. I'd say work for me in quite a loose sense, because they're all self-employed, because it's international. So I don't have anybody working for me in the UK. I've got 2 women in the Philippines. I've got one in the USA. I've got 2 women in the USA. And then I've got 1 guy in the USA that's my video editor. He's full-time, because video is so important to my business. I used to do it all myself until January, I think it was March this year. I did all my own video editing. And so I just thought, this is it. I've got to hand it off to somebody to do it all for me. So 5 people that work for me. And then I've got consultants that come in to do things like the paid ads. So, and a sales team that's done on a consultancy basis as well.
Very clear. Cool. Very good. Great setup. What's the biggest thing holding you back from growing 10x?
Me.
Yourself? Okay. Makes sense.
I think that's it. Because what I sort of believe, so I took a lot of learning from Passion and a previous course that I did. And it's all about having a money mindset, isn't it, Matt? And thinking big, thinking outside the box and taking risks. And so this project that I was talking about that we're launching quite shortly, that's a big risk, because I've got to invest in providing a prize fund. And sometimes, you've got to stick your neck out in order to achieve and get attention and that kind of thing in your niche. You've got to take some risks, haven't you? And you've got to do things. I think you've got to get uncomfortable. If you're comfortable, you're probably not going to achieve anything. So there's going to be some things you're going to have to do, like, getting on the phone to people, doing sales calls. Not everybody is in the position where, and I've had to do this all this year, most of this year, until I hired somebody to come in to do that for me. No, nobody's going to do your business like you're going to do your business. You are the best placed person to either, you're going to do it, actually do the doing work, or you're going to bring somebody in, but you've got to make these hard decisions. I run these masterclasses every month, and they're like a core way. I didn't mention, they're another one of my funnels, and they're free. And I got to stand up in front of 200 women and talk for 2 hours. Now, luckily, as you can tell, I am a chatterbox.
Yeah.
So that really helps. But you've got to get out of your comfort zone, because public speaking is hard when you're not used to it. And you're going to make mistakes. You're going to look like an idiot sometimes because you've forgotten what you're going to say, or the technology's working. So you've got to I just think that's what's holding me back. Every time I step out of my comfort zone and do something different, and I'm prepared to take a risk, that's when I see success, really. And that's what you've got to do. And what I noticed when I started going on these courses, and I wanted to get to $10,000 per month, that bit was really easy. That was so easy, Matt. Everyone can do that. I just don't understand anyone that doesn't get there, to be honest. That was so easy. And but I saw people that wouldn't, I go on these courses and they're not prepared to follow a process. So at Passion, you've got a process, haven't you? It's like my business with losing weight. I've got a process. If you follow it, it works. And that's all you've got to do. But this is why they talk about the top 1%, because not everybody will do that. They're shown the path, but they're just not prepared to take that leap. They'll think, oh no, I'm too busy, or that's too difficult. And so that's why anyone can get to $10,000 per month. Let me tell you, that was easy. That was the place I was in when I left work.
Okay,
And that's
for these people out there who are not making 10K a month, like what's your 7-word super simple message to make 10K a month?
Follow the process.
Oh yeah, okay, there's even 3 words.
Yeah.
Which
because
process?
You've got the process in Passion. You've got a process. You've got a course.
Okay, perfect.
You just follow the process.
Okay, so the process that Passion is providing, like the 30-day challenge, for example, like go through it that.
You just follow the process. I followed the process when I joined Passion. I got some coaching clients. I made more than $10,000 when I did that. So I was making $10,000 when I came to Passion. I made more than that. I think I made $20,000. So it's like, you just got to follow the process. It's literally laid out for you. A lot of people that are entrepreneurs and digital entrepreneurs, they didn't have that. They had to work it out for themselves. You've done the hard work of working out what to do. I find it quite frustrating, as you can tell. I sort of think, why wouldn't you do that if somebody is laying out the process? Just follow it.
Love it. Let's move over to a section I call the famous 5. It's a fast-paced one. You can answer in 1 word if you want to. What's your favorite book or business book to build your company?
Well, at the moment, I'd have to say 10X. Is it called 10X?
Grant Cardone?
Grant Cardone, yeah. Because that's where I got my 100,000. So when I got to $10,000, I thought, oh, right, now I need to go to 100,000. I didn't know how I was going to get there, because that's what he said. Don't worry about how you're going to get there. Just set that goal in mind, and then you're just constantly working towards that goal. And he's a bit of what we would call in the UK a Marmite character. Marmite is this yeast extract you spread on your toast, and some people think it's revolting and some people love it. So he's one of those sort of characters, but he gives you, I like those books that he's got a really strong mindset, hasn't he? And so if you follow, that's another thing. He's got a process. If you follow the process, you're probably going to succeed, aren't you?
Yeah, I agree. Let me double click on that. What's the favorite person that you are studying? Any role model?
Person. Wow, it tends to be in the fitness industry, and I actually got to meet my role model. Can you believe it? So I decided to step outside my comfort zone, and I really love this woman, and she's just absolutely amazing to me, called Ernestine Shepherd. And at one point, she was in the Guinness Book of Records as the oldest living bodybuilder. And I sort of thought to myself, you know what? I want to get her onto my channel. So I kept pursuing her people. She's got a management. And in the end, I actually paid to get her onto my channel, because I thought, if I pay her, I'll get a return on the investment, because the good thing about YouTube is you get paid revenue from YouTube. And so I think I've already made that money back, and the video's only been up for about 30 days. But I actually got to meet her, and she told me, "I love you." And I thought, you know what? I think I've died and gone to heaven. She told me, "I love you." And I just had this amazing experience with her. I'm going to go over to the USA because she lives in Baltimore, so I'm going to go over and train with her. So I think that although she's not a business guru, and what I just sort of think, it's about dreaming big, isn't it? You know, a few years ago, if you told me you're going to meet her and you're going to get to talk to her and she's going to tell you how much she loves you, I just sort of think, oh my God, you just must be joking. That's just crazy. And so now I've kind of picked off this wish list of women that I want to get onto my channel. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to make the call. What's the worst that can happen? They could just say no, couldn't they? And so that's an integral part of my business. You might sort of think, what's that interviewing that women got to do with your business? Well, what will happen is it will drive that video will perform really well. It probably eventually will get 1 million views, and it will bring more people to me.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. Moving on, what's your favorite social media channel for inspiration?
It's got to be YouTube again. Not only am I'm a sort of influencer on YouTube, but I actually watch it all the time to get inspiration from other kind of fitness influencers, really.
Favorite online tool for building your company?
Favorite product?
Favorite online tool for building your company?
It's got to be Passion, hasn't it? Yeah. Passion, of course. Because before I met you guys, I just sort of thought, oh, I want my own app. But I didn't know how I was going to do it. I just had this burning desire. I thought, I've got to have my own app, because that's where it's all moving towards. But I thought, I don't know, I can't have, I can't sort of hire a developer. It's too expensive. I wasn't in that world of bringing in that kind of income to be able to hire a developer. So I just found you because, your adverts kept popping up. And I just thought, well, this is my way in. And as far as I know, nobody else in my niche, specific niche, really, menopause, fitness and weight loss for over 40, probably has an app that they sell on the scale that I do. There may be other people that do it. I'm sure you've got customers that do it, but nobody does it on my scale. And so I just sort of thought, I want to be the first. I want to be the first to do this for women my age, because I want them to experience. So when I had coaches, they would send me a PDF with exercises and no explanation of what to do. And people need video tutorials. They need to be shown how to do the exercises. They want to have everything's on your smartphone now, isn't it? And so that, for me, that's like the key selling point, one of the key selling points for my business. The other key selling point, it's for women over 40, and it's an app. Those are the key selling points.
Yeah, clear. What is the biggest thing on your mind right now?
My big prize competition, that's going to be critical. It's business critical for sort of generating a huge amount of excitement and money.
Clear. Quick personal section. How many hours do you sleep per night?
Well, I'm pretty good at sleep because I teach other women. It's part of weight loss. And what I teach to women about weight loss is they need to be getting enough sleep. So I practice what I preach. So I'm pretty good at getting 7 hours plus per night. And I really focus on getting high quality sleep.
Nice. What's the situation? Married, single, any kids?
So I'm in a relationship. I'm engaged. I'm divorced though, but I'm now engaged in a new relationship. Well, I say new. It's been going for 5 years.
Nice. Okay. final question, because we also want to give some advice to the audience. If you could go back in time and have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, what's the best piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Well, it's okay to kind of start your own business. I felt that I spent most of my life, my working life, that is, sort of over 25 years, feeling like a square peg in a round hole and not being able to be creative. And as soon as I started down this road of actually building my own business through my passion, it's just completely transformed my whole life. And I'm much more satisfied, and I'm really where I need to be because it's my mission. And so what I would say to my 20-year-old self is don't work in that job because it's not right for you. Now, not to say that, because of course we need people to work in jobs, because if we didn't have that, then we need employment, and we need employers, and there needs to be jobs, but it's not for everyone. And the way that my personality is, but we're never taught this in school. They still don't teach it in schools. You can just start your own business. And of course, with the digital age, it's become so much easier. You don't have to invest all this money. I started with absolutely nothing, Matt, nothing, no money at all.
Love it. Love it. That's Melissa. She started from nothing. She waited for a few decades in normal jobs before she had her coming out as a business owner. She then completely crushed it on YouTube, scaled it big there. Today also on Instagram and TikTok, but YouTube is her biggest channel. She's just about to crack the 7-figure mark, annual revenue. She's helping women over 40 to transform their body and be healthy again. She has a really wide range of products, all the way from free to low price products, all the way up to 10K offers for 6 months. She has her own app. She does email marketing really, really well. She has leveraged herself now by hiring contractors and has a team in the Philippines and the US, video editors, consultants helping her. She now taps into paid ads to take it up 10x. To the whole nother level. And sky's the limit. Thank you so much for sharing your passion, taking us to the next level, Melissa.
Thank you, Matt.
That was Melissa Neill. You learned how following a simple process rigidly created a 7-figure business. So how can you unlock the next level in your business?